Hey, what's going on, everyone? And welcome to episode 27 of the Alec Walt Show. I'm your host, Alec Walt, alongside another very special guest. And today, we're talking about the NBA draft. The draft is just a few days away, and one of my favorite prospects in this draft is Florida State wing Scottie Barnes. Joining us to talk a little bit about Scottie is the former graduate assistant with the Florida State men's basketball team and assistant coach for Newberry College. What's going on, Stephen Rodgers? I appreciate you joining me.
Alec, man, always a pleasure, man. Appreciate you having me as well.
First off, before I get started, got to mention it, man. Congrats on the new gig. That is freaking awesome that you're now working with Newberry.
I appreciate it, man. I think it was a really cool opportunity to come to Newberry College, man, to be able to be assistant coach in the most competitive Division II league in the Southeast. And, you know, I'm a Columbia, South Carolina kid, man. So it puts me 40 minutes from the house I grew up in. And in this business, there's just not many opportunities where you get to be able to go back home and do something in your backyard. So, for me, it was really special.
Awesome, man. Well, let's talk a little bit about Scottie Barnes. Like I mentioned in my intro, you got to work a lot with him during his one season with Florida State. Just answer me this question, man. Who is Scottie Barnes?
Scottie Barnes, the two things that come to me are one of the most unselfish human beings and basketball players I've been around, and one of the most intelligent basketball players I've ever been around. I think those are two things that really, when guys have started breaking down film, in the NBA, they're starting to see those aspects really come alive to distinguish himself between, a high caliber draft class that we're going to see coming up here on Thursday. The unselfish nature in a sense, man, when you watch Scottie, and, obviously it was a joy being able to see it from the bench. When he would make a play for a teammate or not even be a part of a play, the joy he would have for teammates and the success as a whole as a team was just very unique in a very egotistical world and culture that we live in that's so social media driven. Scottie just didn't care about all that. And it was awesome. And then the ability to learn new concepts, retain information, and apply those concepts quickly. He could learn a concept in 5 minutes, and now in the next 5 minutes, he's holding a teammate accountable for not doing it correctly. So it was extremely incredible, man. So the two things, every time people say Scottie Barnes, I think unselfish, and I think just by the high IQ that he has.
So let's talk a little bit about his game, because that's unbelievable to have as a basketball player, especially this young going in to the NBA draft. When you watch him on the court, man, what are some of his strengths? Again, like I mentioned, 6'9" on the wing. There's a lot this kid can do.
I think a lot of his strengths are his versatility. I think a lot of guys, again, are seeing it when they break down film, the ability to he's going to be able to guard the 1 through 4 in the NBA. And with defenses going to switching to 1 through 5 or switching to 1 through 4 and playing drop coverage with the 5 or soft hedging with the 5, he's really going to become a versatile guy. Because, you got a guy like Jose Alvarado that played at Georgia Tech, and Scottie's out there guarding. Jose, who's maybe 5'10", 5'11", just really quick twitch point guard, and him being able to guard a guy like that is incredible. So I think really, his versatility when it comes defensively. And then, like we talked about earlier, the unselfish nature comes in. He loves to set guys up for plays. The non-ego, like I was talking about, that comes into play of being able to dish the rock and the court vision he has. So I think those are two really things that, especially initially in his career, I was able to see it on a daily basis, that, the versatility defensively and the court vision mixed with the unselfish nature to set guys up. Because, you got to remember, too, at Montverde, he played with guys like Moses Moody, Cade Cunningham, two guys that are projected to go, I believe, in the lottery as well. So he would talk about how he just enjoyed setting those guys up. I think those are two things that are really going to pop out in Scottie's game and really get the ball rolling for his career early in his career.
Nice. Well, obviously he's going to be having a career very soon, figuring out his new team at the NBA draft. Just talk about how you think his game will translate to the NBA, because it sounds like he's a near perfect traditional wing for today's NBA.
Yeah, I think he's your, hybrid forward, so to speak. I think your point forward, you're kind of, we talked about it yesterday. He reminds me of a lot of a young Scottie Pippen. Scottie was a guy that continually worked on his jump shot to become a solid jump shooter in the NBA. But Scottie was that revolutionary point forward guy who could guard the 1 through 4. And it's funny, Scottie and Scottie. Well, Scottie Barnes reminds me of Scottie Pippen, with coming in.
Is there anything you see out of Scottie specifically that you think is different from other prospects that you've worked with getting ready for the NBA?
I think it just goes back to hammering the point of the unselfish nature and the high IQ. It was funny. I smiled whenever I heard a report of, Scottie Barnes is separating himself as the highest IQ player, in the draft. And that's a testament to him and a testament to, Coach Ham, Coach Jones, Coach Young, Coach Smith at Florida State, and the knowledge that they were able to provide him as well to continue on the foundation of the IQ he had. He's a guy that's been a part of the USA basketball program for multiple years. I think it goes back to that as well.
Nice. Well, before I let you go, I obviously want to give you a little bit of love to your college, Newberry, who you're now working with. I really appreciate the insight you gave here on Scottie Barnes. But with your team this year, the Division II school in South Carolina, the best Division II conference in the Southeast, man, just tell me a little bit about your team this year and how well you think they're going to be in your first season.
Well, we're in the South Atlantic Conference. We call it the SAC, and it's got a couple of traditional Division II powerhouses that, from a national standpoint, a lot of people are familiar with. Queens University and Lincoln Memorial are two schools in the league. But, I think one unique thing on taking the job was, and I'm going to speculate on this. I believe we had to be one of the only between Division I and Division II schools to not lose anybody to the transfer portal. So they were fourth in the league last year. So again, I'm gonna ride the coattail on this thing, on coming in and being able to enjoy it. But, we got little guard, Marcus Ford, about a 5'10" guard. Marcus missed majority of the season last year with a quirky foot injury. But the year before as a junior, he led the league in 3-point field goal percentage. And before he got hurt, had 28 points against Western Carolina.
There we go.
Before that injury occurred. We have 7'1" Jason Cudd, who started his career at the University of South Carolina. Played in 25 games as a true freshman in the SEC. That's extremely difficult to do as a true freshman. Injuries have just really hampered his career. He's getting cleared here soon off hip surgery. Man, we're really excited if we can get Cudd back to the level he was playing at before the injuries occurred. And we were able to add one freshman that we really like, 6'4" wing Davario Shepard. So you're essentially adding 3 additions to a roster that went 4th in the league last year. And, I don't want to put any expectations on the team. I just think the opportunity is there. If everything goes correctly, hopefully, everybody's able to stay healthy, and things of that nature, variables that go throughout the season. So I think the opportunity is there, and I think we're excited as a staff. Head coach Jason Taylor, assistant coach Bernie Coxum, and myself we're excited. The community is excited. If you've ever been to Newberry, it's a very tight-knit community. It's very unique. The alumni love the college, not just athletics. They love the college. And then another unique aspect about the rosters, our guys just really like each other. They really want to be around each other, whether it's on, off the court, and be able to help each other succeed. So I believe the opportunity is there. I'm jacked up. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to be here and hopefully, do things and make history that we haven't been able to do here at Newberry College.
Awesome. Well, that's crazy to think you have someone that has that much experience in the SEC now who you're going to be working with next year. It seems like you got a pretty talented team over there at Newberry, man. So I'm really excited for you. Best of luck to your team. Best of luck to your friend Scottie Barnes as he gets ready for his journey in the NBA. I cannot thank you enough, man, for taking the time out of your day to join me here on the podcast.
No problem at all, Alec. I appreciate you having me on.
All right, well, that's going to be it for this episode of the Alec Walt Show. I'm your host, Alec Walt, alongside Stephen Rodgers. What do you think of Scottie Barnes in the NBA? Feel free to comment that below. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Down the Block Sports for more of my exclusive content. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll see you very soon.